Welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I'm going to reveal the true identity of Q, which I hinted at yesterday. So yesterday's puzzle was meant to be by Q, and ended up being a wonderful puzzle by Jeff Wise. But today we are going to be tackling a puzzle by the Q. No, it's not Qetamath, which some of you guessed at. It's not even Qallcat. It is, in fact, of course, it's Qodec. Qodec returns to the channel today with an absolutely beautiful puzzle, apparently, called Tallmath, which is a tribute that Qodec has done to two puzzling giants, two fellow puzzling giants. Well, one of them literally a giant, Qallcat, of course, and Qallcat is enormously tall, and Qetamath, who I don't think is quite as tall as Qallcat, but the two of them together have enormously high IQs. So this is called Tallmath, and it's a so-called double arrow. Or is it double arrow? Is that how you describe this constraint? Let me tell you what the rules are of this puzzle. Basically, normal Sudoku rules apply. The sum of the digits on a line is equal to the sum of the two digits in the circles that are connected by that line. So if these two cells add up to, actually they could be the same digit. Let's make them both 6. So these add up to 12. So these three digits have to add up to 12. That's how the rule works, I believe. And then digits may be repeated on line circle combinations. Well, that's good because I did just repeat. I did just repeat a digit. Yeah, that's all the rules. Now let me show you some of the feedback on Logic Masters Germany for this puzzle, because it is rather wonderful. So people like Niverio, absolutely lovely. Qetamath, very nice. What a fantastic break-in idea. There was one that intrigued me, though, which was, where is it? Oh, yeah, Henry Pye James, who's a very good solver. I'm surprised by the difficulty rating. For me, it's only 1 2/3, which is very precise, but I think it's got 3 stars out of 5 on Logic Masters Germany. So it might be a relatively approachable puzzle, which would be rather cool. Now, what else do I have to tell you about, though, before we kick off today? Let me think. I've done the rules. Birthdays. I've got to do birthdays. So I'm going to start by saying a very happy birthday to one of our youngest viewers, Sagan. Sagan, your mum Crystal wrote to us, and I know you've turned 6 today. I think it's today anyway. Many, many happy returns. I gather you've been watching Cracking the Cryptic for a while, which is incredibly impressive given that you're still only 6 and that you've recently taken up chess. Well, let me let you in on a secret. I'm sure you've been following the World Chess Championship, which is going on at the moment, and I'm pretty sure that Ding and Yan, when they have a bit of downtime, they watch Cracking the Cryptic. I'm almost sure that must be true. Also, though, anyway, Sagan, I hope you have chocolate cake today, obviously. Also, April, it's your birthday today, and I know this. You're over in New Hampshire, and your partner Kevin wrote to us and said that you'd appreciate a shout out. Somewhat, I thought, somewhat snarkily, he said that your parents were not the most original in terms of naming conventions. I guess because you're born in April. I don't know if you have sisters called May and June. Maybe you do, but anyway, Kevin a bit cheeky there. And Kevin also said that your correct birthday, well, he described it as your solar birthday, is today. But he normally says your birthday is on the 17th. He doesn't explain why. He does say that you're a wonderful woman, though, and you put up with his sense of humour. Well done. And April, I hope you have a brilliant day today, of course, with suitable amounts of cake. Now, the only other thing I've got to tell you about today is for our patrons over on Patreon. Of course, many thanks if you support us over there. We really appreciate it, and we have created the best Sudoku club on earth. Lots of you. Lots of adults have been enjoying the kids Sudoku hunt that we released a few days ago, themed on Super Mario Brothers. Do check that out, and do try and get your children to have a go at it. They should enjoy it, and I can tell you that we've already had interest from other constructors who are quite keen and to set their own kids Sudoku hunts. So I'm hoping this might become a regular thing that we can do more often. which would be rather lovely, and try and get a younger generation into variant Sudoku. But the following people have solved all of the proper monthly reward for April, which was the Nightmare on Sudoku Street from the Skunk Works. So very well done to Kieran Lachlan Levitt, Amir Jamshid Nakai, Monty Coolum, Cody West, Riddy Danawat, Mariska Van Brookham, I think, Ori Pitts, Sandra and Nala. Now, Sandra almost always sends us a picture of Nala, which must be one of the most beautiful dogs on earth. Nala looking at an Easter present there, so that's rather cool. Craig Wotherspoon, Hannes Christian Arneson. I didn't say Hans Christian Andersen. I was careful about it. Anthony Corona and James Scheibel. Very well done indeed. That's all of the news. Let us turn our attention to solving puzzles. This is Tallmath by Qodec. I've already read out the rules, so we know what's going on. The way to play is to click the link under the video, as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, this is a constraint that I am quite inexperienced with. Obviously, with normal arrow Sudoku, I'm very familiar with that. But with this whole idea where you've got to add the circles at either end of the line. These also look very much like between lines to me, which is not helping me. We've got 45's worth of lines in box 2. Okay, that's worth perhaps a moment of comment. How do I know that those lines add up to 45? Well, that's the secret. That is a secret I only tell my favourite people. But if, of course, I'll try. Maybe I should put a chapter in the video for when I reveal the secret. Now I've learned how to do chapters in YouTube videos. But the secret is that by the rules of Sudoku, any complete row, any complete column, and any complete box contains the digits 1 to 9 once each. And if you add up the digits 1 to 9, you get 45. Now, don't tell anyone, but I'm very happy to let you in on that secret. So 45 must be the sum of those lines. Now, the reason I thought that was worthy of mention, let me just highlight those cells for a moment. These cells, therefore, which are the circles, which basically sum those digits, don't they? Because these 3 are the sum of those 2 circles. These 3 are the sum of those 2 circles. These 3 are the sum of those 2 circles. So these circles must sum to 45. But the reason I think it's marginally interesting is that they have a maximum sum. If we made those 7, 8, 9 on both sides, we'd be summing 2 lots of 24, which is 48. So there aren't that many degrees of freedom here. These do have to be quite large numbers. And okay. These two, neither of these can be a 9, I want to say. That must be right, mustn't it? I'm so bad with these arrow things. But look, this line here is saying we sum those 2 digits and we must get that number. So we can't put 9 on either end of this line because this would have to be a double-digit number. So I think we might be able to lock 9. Let me just think about this. If these can't be 9... Oh, no, I'm wrong. Sorry. I thought I was going to be able to say that there must be a 9 there and there must be a 9 there, but that's not right. Because I've just realised what I could do is have, let's say I have 7, 8, 9 on this side. Let's just put it in. Let's have 7 and an 8, 9 pair. But this side, I think I could get away with 6, 7, 8. And then I'd have 24 plus 21, which is 45, and I haven't put a 9 on this side. So I can't assume that there's a 9 in both of these sort of dominoes. So the maximum size of those two cells is a 7-8 pair, isn't it? And then if that's a 1, this would be an 8-9 pair. So that's contributing 15 at maximum to the total of 45, which means these have to add up to at least 30. But that's almost it's a bit smelly, isn't it? Because we could do 8, 9 on one side, and then we only need 13 on the other side, which is 13 has a lot of, we could have a 4. In other words, the minimum digit now in these circles is a 4. Well, that's something Mark would pencil mark, but that's because he is pencil mark. I'm not really prepared to do that myself. What's going on then with this line? That line looks like the next longest line in the puzzle. That's 4. Oh no, that's fine, isn't it? Because, well, they must add up to at least 10. Oh no. Oh, that's right. There's definitely something going on here. Right. Okay. Well, I can tell you for nothing, this can't be a 1. There may be more things this can't be, but I haven't done the maths on the more things yet. But let's just talk about why this can't be a 1. Because what we're doing with this bottom circle combination, these two cells are summing to those. But if I make that a 1, it rules 1 out of the entirety of the line. And 2, 3, 4, and 5, last time I checked, sum to 14. So there's no, well, I'd have to put a 13 into this cell, and that's not going to work. So that's not 1, and the reason that must be interesting is that means this can't be 7, 8 anymore. Now, can this be 2? That's going to be 1, 3, 4. No, it can't be 2. I'm not even sure it can be 3. If it's 2, the minimum I could put here was 1, 3, 4, 5. Which means that's 13, which means this has to be an 11. Oh, it's just going to work with 3. We're going to get 3 and 9, aren't we, I think? Let's just double check that. That's me doing, because I can see that I can make this add up to 15, so I'm just subtracting these digits from 15. So now we've got 12, which we can do with a 9. Okay, all right, well, that's still interesting. So this digit, therefore, is a minimum of 3. Now, what does that do to those two squares? So one of these could be a 6, but the other would have to be a 5. So the maximum these could be is a 5, 6 pair, which would make these an 8, 9 pair. So 5 and 6 here is 11, which means these cells would have to be contributing 34. That's it. There we go. We found it. We've done it. So because these max out at 11 now because of this number, these would have to cater for the remaining 34 at least, but they can't be more than 34 because if we make them both an 8, 9 pair, that's the most we could make them. So this is all, basically we've found the equilibrium. With a 3 here, it's the only way it can work. We have to put a 5, 6 here. We have to put an 8, 9 here. We have to put 8, 9 pairs in these cells. Well, these squares have to be 1, 2, 4, 5. This has to be a 9. And goodness only knows what other things we're going to get from this, but I suspect we're going to get quite a lot of info here. Yes, okay, I can do one more thing that's obvious as a result of this, which is to ask where 9 goes in box 2. Now, these two squares add up to 11. So, oh, somebody asked me. They wanted me to start this video with a picture of my new clock. I will try and do that at some point. Anyway, 11 here means we can't put 9 on this line, because if we do, the minimum it could be would be 1, 2, 9, which is 12. So the 9 must be up here somewhere. And look at that. Now we know there's a 9 in this domino, and we know there's a 9 in those 6 cells. So the way to understand the implication of that for this digit is to ask yourself the facetious question, how many 9s do you anticipate there being in row 1 of this grid if we complete it properly? And the answer hopefully you'd give me is 1 9. And there's going to be 1 9 in this row as well, so that's 2 9s. But we've just established there's a 9 here and there's a 9 there. So that is the 2 9s catered for somewhere within those 8 cells. So can this be a 9? Well, clearly not. It would be a third 9 in the top 2 rows. So that's got to be 8. That's got to be 9. Now, that's, I suppose, mean that's 8 and that's 9. Okay, so the 9 does go all the way up to the top. The 8, oh, right, I see. So the 8 now is pushed onto this line, which adds up to 11. So that must be 1, 2, and 8. These squares now have to add up to 16. But one of the digits is a 9, so we need 7 more, and we're not using 1 and 2. So we can do that. That's got to be 3, 4, and 9. And these squares must be 5, 6, and 7, which do add up to 18, and that's what I expect, because double 9 is 18. There we go. Isn't that pretty? That is absolutely beautiful. Now I can place 9 by Sudoku, of all things. I mean, Qodec. This is an absolute outrage, making me do. I've only been going for 16 minutes, and already I'm having to do Sudoku. Look there. That's the only place 9 can go, apparently, in box number 4. 8. Oh, I see. 8 can only go in one place there now. But again, this nefarious thing called Sudoku. This is now an 8-9 pair. Ah, now can that be? Yeah, see, this is where my intuition for these circles absolutely fails. I look at that on this line, I think, well, that's a very high number to put on an arrow, but it's not really, is it? Because these could be, well, that could be a 7, but that could be a 9, I think. And that's 16. So, I mean, this could still be a relatively high number, even though it's on an arrow with an 8 or a 9. Bobbins, right. 5, okay, no, oh, I thought I got a 5, 6 pair in the middle box. I nearly do, but I don't quite because of this naughty digit. So 5 and 6 have to be in those cells. 6 can't be in this one, so 6 is in one of 2 places. Oh, I see. 8 is on this line down here, so that might be helpful. So this line adds up to at least 11. Oh, that's useless as well. Oh, maybe this digit then. So, okay, so those 2 digits add up to this digit. So this digit is at least a 4. No, actually that's not useful, is it? It's 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8. Look, I've gone all pencil mark on the world. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, and I literally can't rule out anything. Well, no, actually I can. I can rule out 1, because I can't make, given there's an 8 on this line, I can't make it add up to 10. I also can't make it add up to 11, because if I put 2 here, this would have to be 1, 2, 8, and we'd have 2 2s in the box. 3 would give me 12. That actually can't be 3. If that's 3, this has to be 8, 1, 3, because we need another 4 to add on to the 8, which can only be done with 1 and 3 if the digits are different. So that's also not 3. Right, let's keep going with this. If this is 4, we need 13, which means we need 5 more without using 4. So this would be 8, 2, 3. If this is 5, we need 14 here, which is going to have to be, without using 5, 8, 2, 4. So there's always 2 and 8 on this line, which means this is not a 2. So Ah, okay, there might be something going on with 2 up here, I think. 2 has to be in one of those circles, which means that this digit has got to have the same parity as the other circle, is what I'm thinking that means. Because we're effectively taking an even number, aren't we? We're adding an even number to this. So if this was odd, that must be odd. If this is even, this must be even. Oh, it nearly can't be even. In fact, it can't be even, can it? That's weird. Because we've got 6 and 8 looking at this cell, if it was even, it would have to be a 4. But then those 2 squares would both have to be 2. So that's weirdly odd. And it's not 5, it's not 7, and it's not 9. And it can't be... This is ridiculous. It can't... Right, that's absolutely gorgeous. That's my favourite bit of the puzzle. I really like this bit. But actually that digit is my favourite digit of the puzzle. Because by parity, it's got to be odd. And then it can't be 5, 6 or 7. And it can't be 1 because you'd have to put a -1 into one of these circles, which is not a valid digit. So that's got to be 3. And this has just become a 1-2 pair out of nowhere. So that's not 1 or 2. What do we need now? We need 4s, which I see that one can't be. 4, 5, 6 and 7. So there's got to be a 3 over here for what that's worth. I'm sure we can do more with this though. I just have to think, oh, the 3 is looking down here now, which is knocking out the 2, 3, 8 combination. So this is 2, 4, 8. Which means that's 5. Let's just check our maths. That is 14. That is 14. So that's working. If 2, 4, 8's looking up here, 4 comes out of that square. No. Okay, sorry. I thought that was going to be profound. But oh, if that's 5, this is 8. Oh, that's it. That's huge, because this 8 is looking at those, and that's going to differentiate these. So that's 9. That's 8. So that's 6. And sorry, that's 6, and that's 5. So this is not 6. This is not 9. And this is not 8. And and this is not 8. So that's 8. We get a 1-2 pair in box 2. And okay, that's very important for the following reason. Come on, brain, think of reason. These are not 5s. Oh, well, no. Okay, 3 is in one of 2 places in box 4, which means 3 is in one of 2 places in box 6. And now we should ask where 3 goes in column 7, and the answer is in one of those 3 positions. And that means... I don't know. These circles I can see can't be 8s and 9s. Does that matter very much? They could both be 7, I think. That would give us 14, oh, which we couldn't even make 14 here, so... yeah, this is where this puzzle is... It's really weird to me, because you'd think when I get to this point in a puzzle of this nature, I would have a very good instinct for where to look next. I mean, I've done quite a few Sudokus in my life, but I really am not sure. 1, 3, 6 and 7. I don't think... I mean, okay, I suppose I can see 1 is in one of these squares. So that gives me a 2 or a 4 here. Oh. Hang on, how could this be? This can't be 5. Oh, I still don't know though. By Sudoku, I know there's a 5 in one of those. Oh, this is a 6-7 pair. Ah, Sudoku, of course, is the thing I'm missing. This digit? What, a 1 cell arrow? This has to be the sum of this plus this. So that could be a 4, I think. 4, 5, 6, or 7. It can't be 8 and it can't be 9. So that's 4, 5, 6, or 7. So this is 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yeah. Okay. And oh, okay. So is this telling me something about these digits then? It might be. It might be in a way that I can't really foresee. Okay, this is relatively low and this is relatively high. So that suggests this needs to be fairly low and that needs to be fairly high. But this can't be higher than 7, can it? Let's just think about that. So if that was 7 and this was 4, we'd have, that is huge. This line is constrained now. Because if the maximum I can make those 2 digits is 11, but that means this has to be a very low number, doesn't it? Because if that could be a 3 actually. It could be 1, 2, or 3. But I don't think I can reduce this very much. Yeah, if I make this 5, I'm not sure about 6 yet, but if I make this 5, I can see that 5 and 4 is a 9. Oh no, that does work. I'm wrong. Oh, this can be... Oh no, it can't be 5 by Sudoku. Okay, there you go. Right. It definitely can't be 4. Because obviously this would have to be a 0. So this is a 6 or a 7. And it's not a 7. Right. Okay. Okay. So this is a 6. Is what I've learnt. Because if this is a 7, where do we put 7 in this row? The answer is there. These two, well, in fact, that's the way to think about it. Those 2 digits are the same number now, because this is a 6-7 pair. Now, if these are both 7, where do we put 7 in this row? And the answer is there is nowhere for it to live, because it cannot. It's not like Grimald Place, is it? You can't squeeze it between the 9 and the 6, or the 8 and the 9. Not allowed. So that's got to be a 6, which means this is a 7, which means this is not a 6, this is not a 6, and this, okay, I've got lots and lots of low digits to place in box number 6 now, and I've got, I can probably think about this digit a bit more, but let me just think about whether there's more easy wins I can garner from box 6. Where is... There's got to be a 7 over here, but I don't think I know where it lives. There's got to be a 7 over there, and I don't know where that lives. Ah! Okay. Well, this digit, it can't be 1 or 2 now, because then that's 1 or, well, that would, even 2 would require this to be a 0. So this has become 3 or 4. Now, this square, we can't get higher than 10. So there's no way this can be a 3. So 3 has been relegated to the bottom 2 cells of column 7. How do we do better than this? If this is a 3, this is a 3, that would be a 3. So if that's a 3, it's all quite powerful, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Can we rule something out from this square now? Oh, that's really lovely. It's just classic Qodec, that. So you sort of spend some time working on this side, you get some little revelations, and then when you come back over here, you suddenly realise the point of this little connection. Because now this can't be 3, because I can't make this 6, because this yellow digit is 6. So that's got to be 4, which means that's 7, which means that's not 7. This has become a 5 out of absolutely nowhere. That's not 4 anymore. Now, if that's adding up to 10... Oh, bobbins. I don't know which way round that goes. Do we earn any other rewards from this line of inquiry? We've got 1, 2, 3 and 9 to place. Okay, so this is 1, 2 or 3. Not 3 because there's a 3 up here. So this is 1 or 2. So this square down the bottom is 3 or 9 now. It can't be 9 because I've learnt before that if you put 9 in a thing that adds up to this, that's going to be a double digit number. So that's got to be 3. That's got to be 9. That's got to be 4. That's got to be 3. So 4 is living in one of these two squares. We'll think about this combination in a moment. Let me just see if I can see. That gets me a 3 here. Now that must get me a 3 here, which displaces a 1. Ha ha ha, here we go. This column has not got 2, 4 and 7 in it, so that is not 3, clearly. So 3 is placed in box 4, and this is 2, 4 or 7, whoopsie. Oh no, I don't know. I can see there's a 2 in this domino, but this could still be the 2 along this funny line that's joining the purples up. Okay, let's check this line. So this digit can't be 4. Oh, that can't be 4 or 5, actually. And it can't be 6, because if it's 6, that's going to be a 3. And it can't, oh, goodness, okay, that's a 9. That's lovely as well. Look, this digit is completely forced by sort of Sudoku and a little bit of arithmetic. That's got to be 9 and 6, which does my 6 and 7. Does my 7 up here. I've got 1, 2 and 5 to place in this column. So this is 2 or 5. This is 1 or 2 or 5. And this is 1 or 2 or 5, I think. Oh no. Oh, okay, so the 1 in this box goes here. That was fairly straightforward, actually. Which, that gives me my 2 here, which forces this. The connectivity, the way that these little branches work is it's just lovely. It really is just lovely. Now 9, I can place in box 9. This square here is no longer able to be 2. That square's not allowed to be 8 anymore. That's a naked single, actually. That's become 4. That's become 8. That's become 2. In this row, we've not put in 5 and 6, which we now can, I think. What about this row? We need 1, 7 and 8. So that's a naked single. 6 in the corner. Oh, I haven't been looking out for 3s. I've only got 1. Oh no 3s in the corner today. It is impossible to have a 3 in the corner. So thankfully for some of you, you won't get to hear me singing. This is not 4. These are not 1s. This is a 1, in fact. I've just seen the 2 here as well. So in this column, we've not put in a 6. It feels like we've broken the back of it, doesn't it? We've just got this one to deal with. But I suspect that's not going to be the hardest part of the puzzle. Probably famous last words. That's not 3. I've got a 1, 2 pair in the top row. So that square's become 5 or 7. So we can probably do some... Yeah, I can do some maths on this. I don't know if I should do this now, but I can do it. That can't be 7. Because if it's 7, the minimum sum of the circles is 8, and there's no way to make those 8 add up to 8 because you'd have to double for them. So that's got to be 5, which means that's 7, that's 4 apparently, that must be 5, this must be 6. That seems to plonk a 7 into this square. This is a 1, 5. Ah, the 1 here means that's a 5, and that's going to be nice. That gets me a 1 here. This gets me a 2 there. So this must be the 2 now. Along this sum. This has got to be a 4. Yeah, it's going now, isn't it? I think it's going. This square is 2 or 4. That gives me a 1, 2, 4 triple here and makes this a 3. I've not put a 7 into this box. That's a 4. This is not 1. That makes this a 2. That makes this a 3. 1 in the corner. 1, 2, 4 here. 2 here. 2 here. 5 here. 2, 1, 1. And hopefully 4. That was gorgeous. Yes. Ah, it's time 0. Why is my clock not starting? I don't know why. It's being a bit funny at the moment. I think I just haven't got a clue. I've not turned it off. I've not made it stop running, but it seems to have stopped running. You'll have to judge how long that was. It can't have been that long a puzzle. I think probably 30 minutes, which actually is on, I suppose it's on the shorter side with the modern difficulty of puzzles, but that was absolutely lovely. It's just it's fairly clear at the start there's something going on with the blue and the green digits, but the magic is this digit not being able to be really low because it breaks this line. That was gorgeous. And then the surprising parity find up here where that had to be an orange for odd digit. That was my favourite bit. That was because it was so surprising that this was a 1 + 2 = 3 line. And you got to see my intuition in full fail mode as well. So I can tell you Qodec, that Qallcat and Qetamath ought to be very proud of your tribute to them. That was just brilliant. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.